it's Lisa. My husband went to visit his family a few weeks ago and was gone about a week and a half, and all I got back were a few photos, very few. I thought I had him trained better than that, but I guess I have, because he didn't used to take any pictures. Now at least he takes a few pictures. He's not in any of them. As far as I can tell, nobody made any pictures of him. But I've got some good ones, action shots of the little kids, and I have just a few of the older ones. So we're going to do a page with those. When I first looked at these pictures, I was really struck by all this bright blue color in here, and I remembered that I had some bright blue paper. My friend Mary sent me a bunch of wonderful papers and a lot of basic gray stuff, and in amongst them was this Bo Bunny paper that was designed for a 4th of July collection, and we don't typically do a whole lot for the 4th of July. We did go to a party this year, but I just don't usually have a lot with the 4th to do, and I remember looking at that and thought, boy, that's an awfully bright blue. So I decided to just break the papers down and put them away by color. So I went to my color drawer, and there was this bright blue paper, and it's a great match, and I love the stars and things. However, and I went ahead and pulled out the rest of the stuff from these papers, and they're really pretty, but they tend to be, I think, a little more, I don't know, they're going for, I think with the damasks and stuff on here, a little more elegant kind of look. And I'm scrapping teenagers, and I just don't think that most of these papers really work for that, even though the color is good. So I do think I'm going to use some of this star paper and get that bright color. I do really like this paper with the wood grain. Again, I just don't know if it really reflects what we want to say here, but I've interviewed my husband. You know, doing these kind of pages where you weren't there is, I think, very challenging to scrap somebody else's stuff. And I know some people scrap for other people and actually charge for that. I think that's very difficult, or it would be very difficult for me to do, because I would have trouble telling somebody else's story. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to tell somebody else's story. So to get the right feel for the page is a little bit difficult, but I do really like this background paper, so I may use it and the little stars, or I may do something different. You know, this is we've got some outdoor scenes, I've got this wood background, so I could probably make that work. Or I could do it on cardstock and maybe get some other bright colors in here to go with them. I'm still thinking this through a little bit. There's some good pictures here though, especially of the boy. I think this is a great photo, and I think that's his car. He just turned 16, so the car thing is a big deal this year. And so I'm not really sure for certain what I'm going to do. I'm kind of thinking this process out, but I am fairly certain I'm not going to use these golden beigey colors. I can find something else to use with those, and maybe a little bit of this one so I can get that bright blue. I had considered doing some of these, but again, they just don't really quite fit the theme, like the little cards and stuff. They look more like a country fair to me, and that's just not what we're going with here in this thing. There was nothing about that tells the story. So so I think I'll just stick with these blues, and I need a place to put some journaling, probably some hidden journaling to talk, you know, for the things that my husband talked about there, because I've got a lot of photos here, so I don't have gobs of room. I'm going to pick probably one of these action shots and get a title, and I think I have my title already decided. So some of this is kind of coming together in my head. I'm just trying to decide for sure if I want to go with the pretty paper, or I want to see if I can find something that suits the theme better. At this point, what I probably should do is type up the journaling. When I type up the journaling, I'll have a better idea of what I want the page to say. I typed my journaling up on some ledger paper, and I've kind of got it covered there for privacy, but it didn't end up being a ton of journaling, so I have plenty of room for it to display on the page. I do want to use the star paper, and it's working out really well to where I can have kind of the stars framing the photos. I've got some nice casual thickers I'm going to use, and I trimmed down one of the 2 action shot photos. And I thought I am going to use the wood background paper, so I thought some wood embellishments look good with this. So I have these wooden stars. Stars work so well with teen pages. I saw a question on a message board not long ago, but what do you do with stars? And several people were saying they used them for boy pages. They're just very gender neutral items to use. And
these are kind of a casual shaped star that goes with everything else about this page being pretty casual. And when I was looking for my wood veneer, I found some numbers there, so I thought I'd just go ahead and put the month and the year there in a little bit more elaborate lettering. And I need a little bit more color on the page. There's some red in this since it was designed for the 4th of July. I'm going to use just a tiny bit of red so we don't get too much of a 4th kind of look. And I think some trim will work, some ribbon will work well for that. I also considered whether I wanted to color the stars, and I decided to try that. Using just a water-based marker does a really nice job on the wood veneers. It looks like they're stained. So I do like how that came out, so I'm going to do all those in just red marker. I don't remember which Stampin' Up! Marker that is. It's just pretty much any one of them. And I'll glue everything on with Tombow and get my title there in place.
Well, whether I like those letters that way or not, that's the way they're going to be, because those stick really good. So this page turned out to be pretty simple. I just did not do a lot of elaborate stuff. It's, as I said at the beginning, it's very challenging when you weren't there and you're doing a page about somebody else. But what my husband was telling me about the time that he spent there, it was just really hanging out with his grandchildren. They didn't really do big elaborate events or anything. Went to basketball games. His grandson was playing in, went shopping, just went for walks, went kayaking, just, you know, just some fun, normal kind of activities with the kids. So I don't have action shots other than, you know, this one with the kayak to really tell a great story with those. So I just put some things in the journaling and tried to use some colors here that worked with the photos, and bright, cheery summer kind of colors, and decided in the end that the wood grain did kind of go with this more relaxed, hanging out kind of look. So, and I had a little challenging week, so just kind of needed to get a page done. And sometimes that's the way it goes when I'm scrapbooking. I can spend ages and ages on a page, or hours and hours on a page, and then sometimes you just kind of move things along. So I used one of my basic things that I do a lot with pages, which is to punch shape and then use that as a foundation for a lot of the embellishments. So we have a little bit of a triangle going on here. We got our journaling and our titling, and then this background, this more elaborate and structured, kind of holds the page together. So this is how I used a 4th of July collection for not really a 4th themed page, even though we did end up with the red and blue on there. I don't think it really screams 4th of July. And hopefully it screams a happy, fun summer page. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I am continuing to do some videos, not as frequently as I did. A lot of family obligations right now, so I'll get things out there when I can. I do have Pinterest, and I have Instagram, and lots of other social media. I'm particularly trying to keep a few things on Instagram these days, so check that out, and thanks again for watching.